Hi guys, just a quick introduction about a rod that I'm using here at the pier. It is a Berkley Lightning Rod. I had purchased this rod about a year ago, and for purposes of fishing on the pier and for purposes of fishing for smaller trout. And there's a difference of the sizes of trout that are planted here at the lake. The larger lassens, the hybrid lassens, go from 3 pound and up, and sometimes the Department of Fish and Wildlife plants smaller ½ pound to 1 pound fish. And so the Okuma rocks that I use, although it works very well for either size of trout, I prefer the lighter. I wanted to see how a lighter, more flexible rod would perform when catching these lighter trouts. So I chose this Berkley Lightning Rod for several reasons. First of all, to talk about the power. The power of this is a medium light. So it's a bit of, it falls in maybe the category of light tackle, although it has a very strong blank. It's a 2-piece rod. It's got a very strong blank. It's graphite. And it also exhibits the same performance as my Okuma rocks, where the tip is really fast. Even though the blank is really strong, okay, the tip is really fast. So sensitivity wise, it can definitely feel that fish when it's fighting you. The Department of Fish and Game trouts are really strong fighters, and it's quite fun to use this type of rod to catch them. But more importantly, this is a shorter rod as well. So when I'm fishing here at the pier, I don't necessarily have to cast very far. I just need to, fling it out there, and usually if there's a lot of fish, they will take that bait. Not only that I use it for bottom fishing, I also use it for lure fishing. And for the most part, like I said, I use it for bottom fishing for the smaller trout. But I like it because it has a very nice cork handle. There's 2 different type of texture of cork here. It's got a nice bottom to the handle, okay, the logo, and then it's rubber bottom. But there's 2 type of cork here. Not quite sure the grade of this cork, but this is really neat the way they designed the reel seat. You can actually feel the rod itself. The rod is still extended all the way down, I believe, to the handle, but the reel seat is almost disappearing. If you notice, there's no knob or knurled knob that'll hurt your finger, especially if you're doing any type of lure fishing. But you can see this is the part of the rod that actually locks in your reel, okay? So as your hand, okay, settles down and hold the reel like this, the rod like this, okay, that reel is really comfortable, okay? Your thumb sits nicely, and it doesn't get that feel of that knob knurl. So, and then similarly for sensitivity, you can feel the rod itself, okay? So when you're trying to feel that fish in that, with that lure especially, you can honestly feel that any type of nibbles or bites or any action that's happening on your lure. If you have a jerk or a swimming type of bait, you can definitely feel that bait move. But I paired it with a a KastKing Mela 2000. Okay, and again, I am a proponent of a bait feeder reel, but this Mela 2000 was appropriate for this rod. The color matches really nicely. The Mela 2000 comes with a spare spool, okay, and the spare spool is a graphite spool, and it's much lighter as well. So I've installed a 6-pound line on that. So if I want to go out there and actually do some lure fishing and be casting all day, you want to be as light as possible. There's a bit of a weight on this. You know, it's a 6-foot rod, but it has a nice balance feel to it. This Mela 2000 actually keeps it pretty well. I have a half-ounce weight on the end, so otherwise it's really balanced. If you feel that you would like to try a different type of rod, this is probably a good recommendation for you. So give it a try sometime. As always, come fish with us sometime.